All right, let's get our match started. Woohoo! Good evening. My name is Allison Long. I will be your MC for tonight's match between Floyd County High School and Pulaski County High School. I do want to let you know that Citizens, our local TV station, is filming and is going to broadcast this match, I think via YouTube. And I just want to make you aware that they are here up in the booth filming everything, so our contestants will be aware of that as well. Science team, if you'd like to come up. Tonight's head judge is Aaron Sharp. Can't read my writing. And our associate judges are Social Studies, Jennifer Hendrick, Jason Austin for Science, Aaron Sharp for English and all around, and James Board will be judging our math round. Tonight's administrative official is Barry Hollinsworth. Oh, yeah, we need that. There we go. By a coin toss, it was determined that the Pulaski County High School team will sit on your right, and they will be Team B, and Floyd County High School will sit on your left and be Team A. Participants, please remember the rules restrict any writing on scratch paper until the first question reading has begun. Applause is encouraged, but other noises could interfere with the match. Photographs and recordings are also permitted as long as they do not interfere with the match. At this time, please silence your cell phones. Participants, please remember that concise answers are expected, and if you could try to speak into the microphones, that would be great for our judges to hear. So, Pulaski captain, please introduce yourself and your teammates.
My name is Lakin Barnett, and to my left is Caitlin Irvin, and we are coached by the wonderful Miss Shockley.
And Floyd captain, can you introduce your teammates?
My name is Ruby Dowd. To my immediate left is Pino Price. To my far right is Addie Chartier. To my immediate right is my co-captain Ellie Woods, and we are coached by the wonderful and lovely Miss Sharpnut.
All questions in this match are 5-second questions, except the first two directed questions. They will be 20-second calculation questions that are read twice, and they will be given to both teams simultaneously. Each team will submit a written answer to these questions, as is done in the math round. This is the first directed question for both Team A and Team B. You will have 20 seconds. What is the oxidation number of boron? What is the oxidation number of boron? Begin. Teams? I'm going to have our judge look at one of these. I know. The correct answer is 3 positive. Both teams answered incorrectly. This is the second directed question for both Team A and Team B. You will have 20 seconds. A car travels 350 meters in 33 seconds. How fast is the car traveling? Make sure to include the units of measurement in your answer. A car travels 350 meters in 33 seconds. How fast is the car traveling? Make sure to include the units of measurement in your answer. Begin. Teams? A? Okay, Mr. Austin. Okay, can you do that real quick? Okay. Okay, all right. The correct answer was 10.6 miles per second. Team B answered correctly. This is the third directed question for Team A. Remember, these are 5-second questions. Name 2 of the 3 types of active transport of cells. Begin. Team A?
No answer.
Team B?
Sodium calcium channels.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is molecular transport, endocytosis, or exocytosis. This is the third directed question for Team B. The process by which rocks are broken down by rain, wind, heat, and cold. Begin. Team B?
Weathering.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Team A?
Erosion.
Erosion is correct. This is the fourth directed question for Team A. What is the term describing the ability of one or more organisms to tolerate a particular chemical designed to kill it? Begin. Team A?
Immunity.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Team B?
Resistance.
Resistance is correct. This is the fourth directed question for Team B. Organisms like earthworm and millipedes that physically eat, digest, and recycle nutrients through their feces to enrich the soil are referred to as. Begin.
Decomposers.
Mr. Austin? Okay, can you be more specific? All right, Team A?
Tertiary decomposers.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is detritivores. This is the fifth directed question for Team A. Which butterfly is famous for migrating almost 3,200 kilometers to reach central Mexico, where they spend the winter before returning to the United States and Canada in the spring? Begin.
The monarch.
That is correct. This is the fifth directed question for Team B. Covalent bonds are between 2 nonmetals. What happens to the valence electrons? Begin.
The valence electrons are shared.
That is correct. This is the sixth directed question for Team A. Name 2 of the 3 planets that have rings. Begin. Team?
Saturn and Neptune.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
Saturn and Uranus.
There's something not right on there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even notice that one. Okay, so they said, so Team A said of Saturn. Uranus. Yeah, Team A said that. So should we go to an emergency question? Okay. Okay, so we'll go to an emergency question for Team A.
Yep.
Okay.
I hope they record.
All right, folks, there's some confusion on that question as far as what they provided for answers. So I'm going to go ahead and go to an emergency question and read that to Team A. If I can find emergency. There we go. So this is a 5-second question for Team A. If homologous chromosomes cross over with non-homologous chromosomes, what can occur? Begin.
Mutation.
Mutations is correct. All right. This is the 6th directed question for Team B. Precipitation caused by an atmospheric reaction between water, oxygen, and nitrogen oxides, or sulfur dioxide, is known as, begin.
Defer to Caitlin.
Acid rain.
Acid rain is correct. This is the 7th directed question for Team A. A well-tested explanation based on a broad range of observations and supporting data, but that cannot be mathematically calculated, is a, begin.
A theory.
A theory is correct. This is the 7th directed question for Team B. An alkane with the molecular formula C3H8 is more commonly known as, begin. Team?
No answer.
Team A?
Hydrogen peroxide.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer is propane. This is the 8th directed question for Team A. When collecting lab data, what is a measurement of how close your measurements are to each other? Begin. Team?
Precision.
Precision is correct. This is the 8th directed question for Team B. The biome characterized with short summers where only the top few centimeters of the soil thaws and is dominated by grasses, lichen, and herbs is, begin.
Tundra. This is the first time we've been in
Team?
A taiga?
I'm sorry, taiga is incorrect. Team A?
The tundra.
The tundra is correct. This is the 9th directed question for Team A. Which type of galaxy has arms that contain sites of active star formation and start close to a bulge in the center? Begin.
The Milky Way.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
No answer.
The correct answer is normal spiral. This is the 9th directed question for Team B. Over geologic time, global mean sea level has varied significantly. The increase most likely responsible for the increase in global mean sea level comes from the, begin.
The melting of the icebergs.
That is correct. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team A. How many significant digits are in the number 0.0009 kilograms?
1.
1 is correct. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team B. How many significant digits are in the number 0.04090 kilograms? Begin.
3.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
4.
4 is correct. The directed questions are complete. Coaches, please make any team substitutions now. All right, Floyd, I see you have new members. Can you introduce your new member on the team?
To my immediate left now sits Silas Ocampo.
No form of conferring is allowed during the toss-up portion of the match. Please remove all written material from your team tables. Writing is not permitted during the toss-up rounds except in the math round. We will now begin the toss-up questions. Remember, the person who buzzes must give the answer when I recognize his or her team. Buzzing in early with an incorrect answer is a 2-point penalty, and the question will then be reread for the other team. This is the first toss-up question. Give 3 examples of renewable energy. Begin.
Sally, they cleared you really quick.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead. I didn't do that. Let's go ahead and, do you have an answer?
Geothermal, high water, and wind.
Okay, those are acceptable. And there's one thing I forgot to do. Let's go ahead and check our buzzers. I want to make sure those work. Okay. I got ahead of myself there. Okay, now I feel better. All right. This is the second toss-up question. Richmond, the capital of Virginia, is located in what geologic region of Virginia? Begin.
The Plains.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Lloyd?
Piedmont.
The Piedmont is correct. This is the third toss-up question. In an experiment, if any variables are kept the same for all test subjects, those variables are referred to as?
Constants.
Constants is correct. This is the fourth toss-up question. A negative ion of an element is known as? Begin. An anion is correct. This is the fifth toss-up question. The darker center of the nucleus where DNA makes
The nucleolus.
The nucleolus is correct. This is the sixth toss-up question. The purpose of this space program in the 1960s was to put a man on the moon. Begin.
Apollo.
Apollo is correct. This is the seventh toss-up question. The simplest whole number ratio of different atoms in a compound are? Begin.
1-to-1.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
The atomic mass.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is the empirical formula. This is the eighth toss-up question. The curved line formed by water in a graduated cylinder is called the?
Meniscus.
Meniscus is correct.
Yes, come by this.
This is the ninth toss-up question. What happens when the moon blocks the view of the sun? Begin.
Solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse is correct. This is the 10th and final toss-up question. What type of intra-species communication signal would be best suited for a nocturnal species such as an owl?
Echolocation.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect, and you answered before I said begin. Okay. I'll reread the question for Team B. What type of intra-species communication signal would be best suited for a nocturnal species such as an owl? Begin. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is auditory. All right, so that concludes our science round. We have Floyd at 68 and Pulaski at 35. All right, so welcome the social studies teams. Floyd, if you'd like to introduce your team members.
To my left is Elijah Atkins. To my immediate right is Joby Jepson. And to my far right is Addison Besson. I'm Jackson Tawney. We're coached by Drake Thompson.
Pulaski, Captain, would you like to introduce your team members?
To my right is Andrew Clark, to my left is Ethan Easter, and to my far left is Victoria Cantrell. I am Austin Zink, and we are coached by Miss Deshawn the Great.
Woohoo! All right, we're going to have the directed questions first. All questions in this match are 5-second questions. This is the first directed question for Team A. For almost 50 years, the federal government refused its applications to become a state, and it was not until January of 1896 that it was admitted as the 45th state and then only after its constitution was rewritten to specifically forbid polygamy. Name the state. Begin.
Texas?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
Our answer is Utah.
Utah is correct. This is the first directed question for Team B. The capital and most populous city of this state has a soldiers and sailors monument at the intersection of Meridian and Market, and it is also the home of Butler University. The state is also the site of Ball State, Purdue, and Notre Dame universities. Name this state. Begin.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team A.
Pennsylvania?
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Indiana. This is the second directed question for Team A. 3 singers are a trio. What word identifies in ancient Rome a board of 3 officials such as a Caesar, Crassus, and Pompey? Begin.
Our answer.
Team A. Team A. Team A?
Trifecta?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Our answer is a triumvirate.
Can you say it again, please?
Our answer is a triumvirate.
Triumphant? I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is a triumvirate. Triumvirate. This is the second directed question for Team B. The defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588 forever ended Spain's plans to invade England. What naval battle of October 21st, 1805 ended Napoleon's plans to invade England? Begin. Team?
Our answer is the Battle of Trafalgar.
That is correct. Trafalgar. This is the third directed question for Team A. By a vote of 67 to 20, the U.S. Senate declared his conduct to be contemptuous, contumacious, denunciatory, unworthy, inexcusable, and reprehensible. His response to all these adjectives was to call the Senate committee, which drafted the language, the unwitting handmaiden of the Communist Party. Who was this censored Wisconsin senator? Begin.
No answer.
Team B?
Jefferson Easter. McCarthy.
McCarthy is correct. This is the third directed question for Team B. President Richard Nixon's Secretary of State, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1973, was who? Begin. Team?
No answer.
Team A?
No answer.
The correct answer is Henry Kissinger. This is the fourth directed question for Team A. I aimed at the public's heart, and by accident I hit it in the stomach, is how Upton Sinclair summarized the success of his 1906 novel, which led to a federal food inspection legislation. Name the novel. Begin.
I know what he's talking about, but I don't know. I don't know either. I need more details.
No answer.
Team B?
The conditions of the Chicago meat houses.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is The Jungle. This is the fourth directed question for Team B. There are only 2 crimes specifically mentioned in the U.S. Constitution. What are they? Begin.
Treason. Treason.
Team?
Our answer is treason and piracy.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Treason and conspiracy?
Okay, no, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is treason and bribery. This is the fifth directed question for Team A. Pluto is the Roman name for the god who rules over the dead. His name, however, as shown in words like plutocrat, means the god of what? Begin. Team?
The underworld?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
The dark.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is wealth. This is the fifth directed question for Team B. On October 1st, 331 BC, King Darius III lost 90,000 soldiers in a disastrous battle on the plain of Gaugamela against what Macedonian conqueror? Begin.
Our answer is Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great is
Oh.
correct. This is the sixth directed question for Team A. The highest and lowest points in the 48 contiguous states both lie in what western state? Begin.
Colorado?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B.
Our answer is California.
California is correct. This is the sixth directed question for Team B. Name the city founded by the Spanish in 1565, which is the U.S.'s oldest city. Begin. Team?
Our answer is St. Augustine.
St. Augustine is correct. This is the seventh directed question for Team A. The Devil's Den, the Wheat Field, the Peach Orchard, Round Top, Little Round Top, Cemetery Hill, and Cemetery Ridge were the prominent strategic features in what July 1863 Civil War battle? Begin.
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg is correct. This is the seventh directed question for Team B. What was the name of the fort at Lake Champlain, New York, that was seized by Ethan Allen's Green Mountain Boys in 1776? Begin.
Our answer is Fort Ticonderoga.
That is correct, Fort Ticonderoga. This is the eighth directed question for Team A. In 1911, this company was dissolved for violating the Sherman Antitrust Act. Name this petroleum company founded by John D. Rockefeller. Begin.
No answer.
Team B?
Defer to Andrew Clark.
Our answer is Standard Oil.
That is correct. This is the eighth directed question for Team B. As Speaker of the House, this man helped John Quincy Adams win the 1824 election in exchange for Adams appointing him as Secretary of State in the corrupt bargain. Name this Kentucky politician and great compromiser, a famous member of the Whig Party. Begin.
Our answer is Henry Clay.
Henry Clay is correct. This is the ninth directed question for Team A. This dictator was replaced after an Allied invasion of Sicily. This man's followers were nicknamed the Black Shirts. Name this fascist nicknamed Il Duce, an Italian dictator through World War II. Begin.
Mussolini?
Mussolini is correct. This is the ninth directed question for Team B. Of the 19 men who terrorized the U.S. during the September 11 attacks, 15 were from what country? Begin.
Our answer is Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is correct. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team A. Name this 6th and 7th century religious leader who was visited by the angel Gabriel and wrote down the Quran. Begin.
Abraham.
That's incorrect.
Pretty sure it's Mohammed.
To refer to Ethan, Muhammad.
Muhammad is correct. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team B. In 1521, Holy Roman Emperor Charles V convened the Diet of Worms to consider action against what reformer who had earlier been condemned by Pope Leo X after posting his 95 Theses on a Wittenberg church door? Begin.
Our answer is Martin Luther.
Martin Luther is correct. The directed questions are complete. Coaches, please make any team member substitutions now. No form of conferring is allowed during the toss-up portion of the match. Please remove all written material from your team tables. Writing is not permitted during the toss-up rounds, except in the math round. We will now begin the toss-up questions. Remember, the person who buzzes must give the answer when I recognize his or her team. Buzzing in early with an incorrect answer is a 2-point penalty, and the question will then be reread for the other team. This is the first toss-up question. The most decorated unit in U.S. military history was the 442nd Infantry Regiment of World War II. This volunteer regiment was exclusively composed of U.S. citizens of what national ancestry? Begin. Pulaski?
African American.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Navajo.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Japanese. This is the second toss-up question. Of America's 2 primary submarine-launched ballistic missiles, one is named for a Greek god and the other for something that God is always shown carrying. Name these 2 missiles. Begin. All right, that's time. Another team? Okay. Oh.
Thunderbolt.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is Poseidon and Trident. This is the third toss-up question. Name the only U.S. Supreme Court justice ever impeached. Begin. Pulaski?
Marshall.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is Samuel Chase. This is the fourth toss-up question. On May 4th, 1970, at a college in Ohio, National Guardsmen fired into a group of student protesters, killing 4 and wounding several more at what college? Begin. Pulaski?
Kent State University.
Kent State is correct. This is the fifth toss-up question. Who was the Chief Justice for McCulloch versus Maryland?
John Marshall.
John Marshall is correct. This is the sixth toss-up question. In 1940, the world saw the evacuation of more than 340,000 Allied troops from what French coastal town?
Our answer is Dunkirk.
Dunkirk is correct. This is the seventh toss-up question. This agency replaced the Office of Strategic Services and was created at the same time as the National Security Agency. Name this U.S. agency that collects national security information from outside the U.S. Begin.
Our answer is the CIA.
That is correct, CIA. This is the eighth toss-up question. From 1994 to 2001, this job was held by Rudy Giuliani, and Giuliani was succeeded by the wealthiest politician in U.S. history, Michael Bloomberg. Name this elected position. Begin. Pulaski?
Senate Majority Leader.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Floyd? The correct answer is Mayor of New York City. This is the ninth toss-up question. The Pyrenees form of a national border between France and what neighbor to the south? Begin.
Spain.
Spain is correct. This is the 10th and final toss-up question. The sea separating China and Korea and the Chinese River, also known as the Huanghe. Floyd?
No answer. Buzz definitely.
Okay, that's a 2-point penalty. I'm going to reread the question for Pulaski. The sea separating China and Korea and the Chinese River, also known as the Huanghe, share what colorful name? Begin.
Yellow.
Yellow is correct. Okay, that is the end of our social studies portion of the MACC match. Our score is Floyd 8 and Pulaski 90. Okay, now for the all-around portion of our MACC match tonight. So, Pulaski, Captain, would you like to introduce your team members on your all-around team?
To my right is Lakin. To my left is Emily. To my far left is Jaden. And I'm Victoria. And we're coached by the wonderful Miss Lori Phillips.
All right, Floyd, Captain, would you like to introduce your teammates?
To my far right is Garvey McKee. To my immediate right is Jessica Long. To my left is Maddie Slusher. I'm Emma Schroeder, and we are coached by Mrs. Sharpnut.
All questions in this match are 5-second questions. This is the first directed question for Team A. Who is the American podcaster, Ultimate Fighting Championship color commentator, comedian, actor, and former television presenter who was recently involved in a Spotify controversy about COVID-19 misinformation and the use of racial slurs? Begin.
Joe Rogan.
He was like a boxer. Like an MMA fighter.
Our answer is Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan is correct. This is the first directed question for Team B. Who is the recently deceased American actor known for his film and television performances? He was nominated for several entertainment industry honors, including for an Academy Award, 2 Primetime Emmy Awards, and 4 Golden Globe Awards. He came to prominence playing Sonny Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather in 1972, a performance which earned him Academy Award and Golden Globe nominations for Best Supporting Actor. Begin.
No answer.
Floyd?
Our answer is Robert De Niro.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is James Caan. This is the second directed question for Team A. What famous telescope recently reached its final destination 1 million miles from Earth? Begin.
Our answer is the Hubble.
The Hubble is incorrect. Pulaski?
No answer.
The correct answer is the James Webb Space Telescope. This is the second directed question for Team B. AT&T and Verizon said recently they would delay turning on what near a limited number of airports after renewed opposition from the aviation industry. Begin.
$5G.
5G is correct. This is the third directed question for Team A. This operation can be understood as repeated multiplication. Name this operation, usually written by putting a number or expression as a superscript. Begin.
Our answer is exponents.
That is correct. We'll take that answer. This is the third directed question for Team B. Classical geometric construction problems are limited to an unmarked straight edge and this device, used to draw circles or arcs. Begin. Pulaski? You have an answer?
Defer to Jaden.
I'm sorry, protractor is incorrect. Team A?
Our answer is a compass.
A compass is correct. This is the fourth directed question for Team A. As some COVID anxieties have receded, teenagers have a new word for the fear of shedding their masks to reveal their face. What is the word? Begin.
Masking.
Unmasking.
Unmasking.
Yeah.
Our answer is unmasking.
Or is it just masking? Is it just masking?
Obviously. Okay. Team B?
Beautiful.
The correct answer is mask fishing.
Oh my goodness.
This is the fourth directed question for Team B. A teenage freshman in college received a direct message from Elon Musk, the billionaire chief executive of Tesla and founder of SpaceX, after the freshman did what? Begin. Team?
Design a prototype.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Lloyd?
Want to install Neuralink in his head.
He wanted to install a Neuralink in his head.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is tracked Musk's private jets. This is the fifth directed question for Team A. What federal agency's January 6th texts were erased despite Congress's request to preserve them? Begin. Team?
Homeland Security.
Yes, Homeland Security is correct.
Nice.
This is the fifth directed question for Team B. Under mounting international pressure for reported war crimes, what country recently forced the closure of several prominent human rights groups' offices? Begin. Pulaski?
Iran.
I'm sorry, Iran is incorrect. Floyd?
Our answer is Russia.
Russia is correct. This is the sixth directed question for Team A. What U.S. Supreme Court justice retired recently after serving more than 2 decades on the nation's highest court? Begin. Team A?
Oh no. What's Clarence's last name?
Do you have an answer?
No answer.
Okay, Team B?
Defer to Lakin.
Lakin, no answer? Okay, the correct answer is Stephen Breyer.
Oh.
This is the sixth directed question for Team B. On February 3rd, the leader of what Islamic terrorist group died during a risky pre-dawn raid by U.S. Special Operations Forces after he exploded a bomb that killed him, as well as members of his own family in Syria? Begin.
Defer to Lakin.
Al Qaeda?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
No.
I can't remember.
No answer.
The correct answer is ISIS. This is the seventh directed question for Team A. Zara Rutherford, 19, recently made news when she became the youngest woman to do what? Begin.
For what?
Oh,
Floyd?
become governor of a certain state?
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
Graduate college.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is circumnavigate the globe solo.
Oh.
This is the seventh directed question for Team B. The pair met on the set of the historically bad Giggly in 2001, and their romance became front page fodder till their 2004 breakup. Recently, this famous couple married. Who are they? Begin. Team?
Defer to Lakin.
Lakin?
Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team A?
Justin Bieber and Haley Bieber?
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. This is the eighth directed question for Team A. Scientists have identified a previously unknown group of what in southeast Greenland living in an environment with relatively little sea ice, potentially pointing toward a way to preserve some of the iconic species as Arctic sea ice melts. Begin. Floyd?
Our answer is penguins.
Penguins is incorrect. Team B? You have an answer?
Amoebas.
I'm sorry, amoebas is incorrect. The correct answer is polar bears. This is the eighth directed question for Team B. What material, according to MIT, was recently developed that is several times stronger than bulletproof glass and the amount of force needed to break it is twice that of steel, despite the fact that the material has only about 1/6 the density of steel. Begin.
Our answer is plexiglass. Plexiglass.
Plexiglass? Okay. Team A?
Our answer is plexifiber.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is a new polymer or plastic. This is the 9th directed question for Team A. Who is the American actor and filmmaker who is the recipient of numerous accolades, including a British Academy Film Award, 4 Golden Globe Awards, and 2 Academy Awards, one for his acting and the other as a producer? In 2018, he was the recipient of the AFI Life Achievement Award, and in 2022, he was honored at the Kennedy Center Honors for a lifetime of contributions to American culture. Begin. Team?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Team B?
No answer.
The correct answer is George Clooney. This is the 9th directed question for Team B. Tory Lanez was recently found guilty on 3 charges related to the shooting of what rapper after a party at Kylie Jenner's home in 2020? Begin.
No answer.
Team A?
No answer.
No answer. The correct answer is Megan Thee Stallion. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team A. President Biden recently issued a forceful rebuke of which rapper's string of anti-Semitic remarks, including his phrase of Adolf Hitler and his denial of the Holocaust? Begin.
Our answer is Kanye West.
Kanye West is correct. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team B. What recently deceased wealthy New York real estate heir and failed fugitive who was dogged for decades with suspicion in the disappearance and deaths of those around him was convicted last year of killing his best friend? Begin.
Bill.
I'm sorry, Bill is incorrect.
The science guy.
Oh, no. No, not Bill, not either. Robert Durst is the correct answer. The directed questions are complete. Coaches, please make any team member substitutions now. All right, the directed questions are complete. Coaches, please introduce any team member substitutions now. Pulaski.
To my far left is Caitlin.
And Floyd.
To my left is Enzo Nunez.
Okay, let's go ahead and check our buzzers. Pulaski. And Floyd? Okay. No form of conferring is allowed during the toss-up portion of the match. Please remove all written material from your team tables. Writing is not permitted during the toss-up rounds except in the math round. We will now begin the toss-up questions. Remember, the person who buzzes must give the answer when I recognize his or her team. Buzzing in early with an incorrect answer is a 2-point penalty, and the question will then be reread for the other team. This is the first toss-up question. A tsunami advisory was in effect for Hawaii, Alaska, and the U.S. Pacific coast recently when an underwater volcano dramatically erupted near which Pacific island that suffered severe damage from said tsunami? Begin. Neither team? Okay. The correct answer is Tonga. This is the second toss-up question. Tesla boss Elon Musk said the most important product development in the company plans for 2022 is what? I'm sorry, that's incorrect, and you answered early. I'll reread it for Team B. Tesla boss Elon Musk said the most important product development the company plans for 2022 is what? Begin. Pulaski?
Electric vehicles.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is a humanoid robot. This is the third toss-up question. What natural weather phenomenon recently stretched nearly 500 miles across 3 U.S. states, setting a new world record? Begin. Floyd? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Pulaski?
A hurricane.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect as well. A bolt of lightning is the correct answer. This is the fourth toss-up question. A medical procedure involves taking 2 pills, mifepristone and oh my goodness, I did practice this first. Let me start those 2 over again. Mifepristone and misoprostol, 48 hours apart. Why have requests for these pills skyrocketed recently? Begin.
Oh.
Floyd?
The abortion ban? Or like Roe v. Wade?
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. This is the fifth toss-up question. Just days after its banning by a Tennessee school district made national news, 2 editions of Art Spiegelman's Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel about the Holocaust have reached the top 20 on Amazon and are in limited supply. What is the banned book? Begin. Pulaski?
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Floyd?
Night by Weasel.
That's also incorrect. The correct answer is Moz, or Moss. This is the sixth toss-up question. Facing a war between a government coalition and Houthi rebels, name this country located on the Arabian Peninsula whose capital is Sana'a. Begin. Another team? Okay, the correct answer is Yemen. This is the seventh toss-up question. Which historically neutral European country recently froze Russian assets in its Russian? Switzerland. Switzerland is correct.
Nice. Nice.
I need to get here. Hold on one real quick. This is the eighth toss-up question. A cargo ship stuck in waters between Maryland and Virginia recently presented the U.S. Coast Guard a logistical challenge. In what body of water was the ship stuck?
The Chesapeake Bay.
The Chesapeake Bay is correct. This is the ninth toss-up question. What is the Dobbs decision? Begin. Pulaski?
Border Patrol.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Floyd?
A book.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is the landmark Supreme Court case that overturned Roe versus Wade. This is the 10th and final toss-up question. What significant necessity recently became a flashpoint for many families as its shortage became a major crisis?
Eggs.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect, and I did not say begin, so you answered early. Pulaski, I'll reread. Well, I'm just going to reread the question. Okay.
What should I do?
Should I just go ahead and reread? And, I mean, they're going to answer anyway, so. Yeah, okay. What significant necessity recently became a flashpoint for many families as its shortage became a major crisis? Begin.
Toilet paper.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is baby formula. Okay, that concludes our all-around match tonight. The final score is Floyd 36 and Pulaski 10. All right, welcome to the English portion of our MACC match tonight. I'm going to go ahead and have Pulaski's captain introduce their team members.
To my left is Cassidy Jesse. To my right is Heather Holman. I am Jaden Carroll, and we're coached by Joe Marzoff.
Okay. And Floyd, captain, can you introduce your members?
To my far right is Sophie Perdue. To my immediate right is Madeline Wall. To my left is Nico Anderson. I'm Emma Schroeder, and we are coached by Mrs. Vogler.
All questions in this match are 5-second questions. This is the first directed question for Team A. In the short story, The Widow and the Parrot by Virginia Woolf, who lends her money to get her to her brother's estate? Begin. Team?
No answer.
Pulaski?
His brother.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is Reverend Samuel Tallboys. This is the first directed question for Team B. In the short story, The Short Happy Life of Francis Macomber by Ernest Hemingway, according to the Somali proverb, how many times will a man be afraid of a lion? Begin.
How many times? 7.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Floyd?
Our answer is once.
That is also incorrect. The correct answer is 3. This is the second directed question for Team A. In the nonfiction selection, What I Learned from a Fitting Room Disaster About Clothes and Life by Sachi Cole, what did she rub against her skin until red bumps appeared? Begin.
Our answer is the shirts that her mom picked out for her.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Pulaski?
Her sweater.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is sequins. This is the second directed question for Team B. In the poem Fern Hill by Dylan Thomas, what do the foxes on the hill do? Begin.
They bark.
Bark is correct. This is the third directed question for Team A. In the novel Animal Farm by George Orwell, what do the animals agree to use the farmhouse as right after the rebellion? Begin.
Our answer is a museum.
A museum is correct. This is the third directed question for Team B. In the play Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmond Rostand, who shows up at the camp before the Spanish are to attack? Begin.
Cyrano.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Our answer is Roxanne.
Roxanne is correct. This is the fourth directed question for Team A. In the novel A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, what is the principal's name? Begin.
Mr. Hollingsworth.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Pulaski?
Corbury.
Can you say it again?
Corbury.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Mr. Jenkins. This is the fourth directed question for Team B. In the play The Crucible by Arthur Miller, how is Giles Corey killed? Begin.
He's hung.
Ooh, ooh.
Wait, is that our question?
I'm sorry, it is your question.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Wait, no, wait a minute. It is Team B. I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
Go to emergency question. All right, this is the question is for Team B. In the novel Animal Farm by George Orwell, which animal on the farm never laughs? Begin.
The horse.
Can you say that again, please?
The horse.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Wait, it's ours turn, right?
Mhm.
Okay, our answer is the crow.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Benjamin or the donkey. Yes.
That's the one I was speaking.
Oh, yeah. Try speaking this one. This is the one that goes out to the audience.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. All right, I need to find where we were. Okay. This is the fifth directed question for Team A. In the novel The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, who writes Pony Boy a letter? Begin.
Sorry, question, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Our
Yes.
answer is soda pop.
Soda pop is correct. This is the fifth directed question for Team B. In the nonfiction selection, What I Learned from a Fitting Room Disaster About Clothes and Life by Sachi Ko, What did it mean when her mother lowered her voice? Begin.
She was upset.
Okay, that is incorrect. Floyd?
Our answer is she was in trouble.
So it's incorrect. The correct answer is disappointment. This is the sixth directed question for Team A. In the poem Fern Hill by Dylan Thomas, how long is the sun young? Begin. Team A?
Our answer is 10,000 years.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
The spring.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is once. This is the sixth directed question for Team B. In the novel Animal Farm by George Orwell, what was on the flag the animals made for the farm? Begin.
The logo for animalism.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
A hoof.
Can you expand on that?
Do y'all know? A hoof and a axe.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is a hoof and horn. This is the seventh directed question for Team A. Identify the coordinating conjunction in the following sentence. We were far from home, yet we felt at peace. Begin.
That's our question. Okay. Our answer is yet.
Yet is correct. This is the seventh directed question for Team B. Identify the conjunctive adverb in the following sentence. We love reading, therefore we are members of the English MACC team. Begin.
Love.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team A.
Therefore.
Therefore is correct. This is the eighth directed question for Team A. In the play The Crucible by Arthur Miller, what kind of animal does Abigail claim to see in the court? Begin. Floyd?
Our answer is a mouse.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team B?
A white mare.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is a yellow bird. This is the eighth directed question for Team B. In the short story, The Widow and the Parrot by Virginia Woolf, who takes Mrs. Gage to Rodmill in his cart? Begin.
Her father.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Team A?
Our answer is the Reverend.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Mr. Stacy. This is the ninth directed question for Team A. In the short story, The Short Happy Life of Francis McComas by Ernest Hemingway, what do the servants prefer to losing their pay? Begin. Floyd?
No answer.
Pulaski?
Death.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is being whipped. This is the ninth directed question for Team B. In the novel The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, who is the wisecracker of the group? Begin.
Soda pop.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Two-Bit Matthews.
Two-Bit Matthews is correct. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team A. In the play Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmond Rostand, what is the de Gauchet's new title? Begin.
King.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Okay.
General.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is Duc de Gramont. This is the 10th and final directed question for Team B. In the novel A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle, what does Mrs. Whatsit transform into on Uriel? Begin.
A centaur.
Yes, that is correct. The directed questions are complete. Coaches, please make any team member substitutions now. All right, I'm gonna see Floyd. Team has some substitutions. Captain, can you introduce the new members?
To my far right is Evelyn Jimenez. To my immediate right is Maddie Slusher. To my left is Lily Anderson.
All right. The directed questions are complete. No form of conferring is allowed during the toss-up portion of the match. Please remove all written material from your team tables. Writing is not permitted during the toss-up rounds except in the math round. We will now begin the toss-up questions. Remember, the person who buzzes must give the answer when I recognize his or her team. Buzzing in early with an incorrect answer is a 2-point penalty, and the question will then be reread for the other team. So Pulaski, why don't you check your buzzers? Uh-oh. There it goes. Okay. One more. Okay. This is the first toss-up question. Which selection by which author suggests that one of the characters buried a horse upside down? Begin. Pulaski?
Their Eyes Were Watching God by Nora Zeal Hurston.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Cyrano de Bergerac by Edmund Rustin.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is The Devil and Tom Walker by Washington Irving. This is the second toss-up question. In the play Sorry Wrong Number by Lucille Fletcher, who is in Mrs. Stevenson's house at the end of the play? Begin. Lloyd? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Pulaski?
Her brother.
I'm sorry, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is George. This is the third toss-up question. In the novel Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, who is the first mayor of Eatonville? Begin.
Joe. I said Joe.
Joe? Okay, we'll accept that. Okay. This is the fourth toss-up question. In the novel The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, what is Nick's cardinal virtue? Begin. Floyd?
My answer is honesty.
That is correct. This is the fifth toss-up question. Which selection by which author contains the following lines? The winds that will be howling at all hours and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. Begin.
The World is Too Much With Us by William Wordsworth.
That is correct. This is the sixth toss-up question. In the play Trifles by Susan Glaspell, what does Mrs. Hale compare Minnie Foster to? Begin.
A bird.
That is correct. This is the seventh toss-up question. In the poem Ex-Basketball Player by John Updike, what literary device is used in the following line? His hands were like wild birds.
Simile, sorry.
Simile is correct.
Simile.
This is the eighth toss-up question. In the short story Red Card by S.L. Gilbo, what does she reveal is hidden in a shoebox?
A red card and a revolver.
That is correct. Okay. This is the ninth toss-up question. Which selection by which author tells the story of the Battle of the Cowshed? Begin.
Animal Farm by George Orwell.
That is correct. This is the 10th and final toss-up question. In the nonfiction selection Born a Crime by Trevor Noah, what literary device is used in the following line? Bam! I smacked hard on the pavement.
Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia is correct. That ends the English portion of our match tonight. Floyd has a score of 65, and I did not see Pulaski's 15. Okay. All right, math. All right, hello math teams. Pulaski captain, would you like to introduce your team members?
To my right is Clark Mount. To my immediate left is Thomas Johnson. To my far left is Austin Higgs. I am Aaron Bennett, and we are coached by Miss Harrington.
And Floyd captain, would you like to introduce your team members?
To my immediate left is Jack Wilder. To my far right is Garby McGee. To my immediate right is Carly Craig. I'm Jessica Long, and we're coached by Miss Warren. Happy birthday, Miss Warren.
All right, both teams, A and B, are given the first 10 questions. Directed questions are all 20-second calculation questions that are read twice by the MC before time starts up again. Each team captain will submit a single answer sheet with the answer circled. Each team may score points on the directed questions. This is the first directed question. 4 cards are labeled 6, 7, 8, and 9. A card is picked at random without replacement. A second card is then picked at random. What is the probability as a fraction in simplest form that both the first and second cards picked up will both be even? 4 cards are labeled 6, 7, 8, and 9. A card is picked at random without replacement. A second card is then picked at random. What is the probability as a fraction in simplest form that both the first and second cards picked will both be even? Begin.
Are there 2 even numbers? Wait, no, there's 6 and 8. Yeah. It should be 2. Yeah. This is 6. It'd be 1/3.
Floyd? The correct answer is 1/6. Both teams answer correctly. This is the second directed question. If f of x equals 1/3 times the quantity 4 minus x, that quantity squared, find f of 16. If f of x equals 1/3 times the quantity 4 minus x, that quantity squared, find f of 16. Begin.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear the 1/3. Sorry. No, because it's squared.
The correct answer is 48. Both teams answer correctly. Oh, I'm sorry, Team B did not answer correctly. Team A did. The correct answer is 48. This is the third directed question. If the measure of one acute angle of a right triangle is 25 degrees, find the supplement of the other acute angle. If the measure of one acute angle of a right triangle is 25 degrees, find the supplement of the other acute angle. Begin. James?
You can also just.
The correct answer is 115 degrees. Floyd did not answer correctly. Pulaski did. This is the fourth directed question. What is the equation of the midline of the function y equals 3 cosine the quantity x minus 1/4 pi, that quantity minus 2. What is the equation of the midline of the function y equals 3 cosine the quantity x minus 1/4 pi that quantity minus 2? Begin.
Y equals 1. Negative 1. Yeah.
Teams? The correct answer is y equals -2. Pulaski, let's see, Pulaski answered correctly, Floyd did not. This is the 5th directed question. Simplify 2 square root of 3 times the square root of 27. Simplify 2 square root of 3 times the square root of 27. Begin.
Oh yeah, the answer.
The correct answer is 18. Both teams answer correctly. This is the 6th directed question. In a lottery, there are 10 winning tickets and 25 losing tickets. A lottery ticket is drawn at random. As a fraction in simplest form, what is the probability of getting a winning ticket? In a lottery, there are 10 winning tickets and 25 losing tickets. A lottery ticket is drawn at random. As a fraction in simplest form, what is the probability of getting a winning ticket? Begin. The correct answer is 2/7. Both teams answer correctly. This is the 7th directed question. 75% of 88 is the same as 60% of what number? 75% of 88 is the same as 60% of what number? Begin. Teams?
We said 66.
The correct answer is 110. Team A did not answer correctly. Team B answered correctly. This is the 8th directed question. Find the midpoint of the segment joining the points 2, 3, and -4, -7. Find the midpoint of the segment joining the points 2, 3, and -4, -7. Begin. The correct answer is -1, -2. Both teams answer correctly. This is the 9th directed question. Determine an angle between 0 and 360 degrees that is coterminal with an angle that measures 902 degrees. Determine an angle between 0 and 360 degrees that is coterminal with an angle that measures 902 degrees. Begin. Floyd? The correct answer is 182. Both teams answer correctly. This is the 10th and final directed question. Solve for x in the equation log base 2 of the quantity x squared minus 9 is equal to 4. Solve for x in the equation log base 2 of the quantity x squared minus 9 is equal to 4.
Plus or minus one. Yeah. I mean, if you, I think you got it.
The correct answer is -5 and 5. Both teams answer correctly. The directed questions are complete. Coaches, please make any team member substitutions now. All right, we do have some substitutions. So Pulaski, if you'd like to introduce your team members, new team members.
To my far left is Emily Phillips.
And Floyd.
To my immediate right is Enzo Nunez.
Woohoo! No form of conferring is allowed during the toss-up portion of the match. Please remove all written material from your team tables, but we don't need to do that. We're in math. We will now begin the toss-up questions. These are all 10-second questions. Remember, the person who buzzes must give the answer when I recognize his or her team. Continuing to work the problem after buzzing in will be considered a sportsmanship violation. Buzzing in early with an incorrect answer is a 2-point penalty, and the question will then be reread for the other team. This is the first, let's go ahead and check our buzzers. Pulaski, why don't you do that before we start? All right, and Floyd? This is the first toss-up question. Find the median of the following list of numbers: 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, and 64. Begin. Floyd?
30.5.
30.5 is correct.
Nice. Whoops, sorry. I'm used to that.
This is the second toss-up question. The expression 100x squared plus 140x plus 49 represents the area of a square. What expression represents a side length of the square? Begin. Floyd?
X minus 7.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Pulaski, do you have a go at it?
10x plus 7.
10x plus 7 is correct. This is the third toss-up question. What is the measure of an inscribed angle in a semicircle? Begin. Floyd? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Pulaski? Time?
180.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is 90 degrees. This is the fourth toss-up question. What is the ordered pair for the center of the circle with the equation quantity x minus 1 squared plus the quantity y plus 2? That
1 minus 2.
That is correct, 1 negative 2. This is the fifth toss-up question. How many rational roots does 3x squared plus 8x plus 2 equals 0 have? Begin. Time. Pulaski?
2.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Floyd? Was that Floyd? Was that? Oh. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Negative 2/3 and negative 2.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. The correct answer is 0.
Oh.
This is the sixth toss-up question. 3 people enter a conference room where there are 10 seats. In how many ways can they take their seats? Begin. Pulaski?
720.
720 is correct. This is the seventh toss-up question. In logic notation, what do the letters I, F, F stand for? Begin. Floyd?
If and only if.
If and only if is correct.
Nice.
This is the eighth toss-up question. An angle that measures negative 45 degrees is equal to how many radians? Begin.
Negative pi over 4.
Yes, negative pi over 4 is correct.
Still alive. Buzzard animal.
This is the ninth toss-up question. What type of function is defined only for a set of numbers that can be listed? Begin. Floyd?
It's like a ladder function. It's talked of like a. It's where like they break it apart.
I'm
Looks
sorry.
shaped like a ladder.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Pulaski?
I can't remember the name.
Piecewise function.
Oh, okay, that's also incorrect. The correct answer is discrete.
Oh.
This is the 10th and final toss-up question. A company offers a choice of 4 amounts of memory, 2 sizes of hard drives, and 2 sizes of monitors. How many different computer setups can be made? Pulaski?
16.
16 is correct. That ends the math portion of our MACC match tonight. Our final score is Floyd 50, Pulaski 65.